seeds. They offer so much potential in the form of plant life and also sustaining our own life, and are a way for us to celebrate and embrace our heritage. Tingles with flyby. Daily ASMR videos. Welcome to the seed shop. How are you doing? Wonderful. How is your stay? Hopefully you've had some amazing experiences so far. Oh, really? That sounds very, very special. Well, today I've prepared these seeds to show to you. This is our North American range of seeds, so I thought it would be perfect for you to be able to use and look at when you go back home. These come, so I have a couple others too, which I'll show you, but these come from a place called the Seed Savers Exchange, passing on our vegetable heritage. So we've got a huge range of seeds for these unique heirloom varieties. I've just selected out these 12 to show to you, but we have a lot more. So if you are interested in seeing some more, just let me know. I can grab some more out. So the great thing about the Seed Savers Exchange is that it's based upon individuals growing the seeds, saving them, and then if they have any excess, they can sell it back to the exchange as well. So they do give instructions on the back on how to save the seeds. Therefore, you can just, keeping the package is probably quite important with these ones. Also, because then you can know what varieties you've planted. So, the top level I have here some different beans. Some very interesting beans. So let me first start you with these tiger's eye beans. You can see they have this very unique coloring, a kind of golden color with these maroonish brown swirls on them. And you can probably see why they're called a tiger eye. So these are originally from Chile or Argentina. They're one of the most beautiful of all the dry beans. Wonderfully rich flavor and a nice smooth texture. Very tender skins. Great for chili or for refried beans. Can also be used as a fresh shell bean. So you get very productive 24-inch plants. They are a bush habit and take 80 to 90 days. Now when you're planning your garden for the summer, it's best to keep in mind the planting instruction as well. So for these ones, you just sow seeds directly outdoors after the danger of frost has passed and the soil and air temperatures have warmed. You plant seeds 1 inch deep, 2 inches apart, in rows of 36 to 48 inches. And then we have the seed-saving instructions. Bean flowers are self-pollinating and almost never cross-pollinate. To ensure absolute purity, separate by the length of the garden from other beans. It is always best to save seeds from plants that ripen first and are free from disease. Harvest seed pods when completely dry. Crush in a cloth or burlap sack and winnow the seeds from the chaff. So, what I love about the Seed Savers Exchange is that with these instructions, you have your own method to create a perpetuating population of these beans. So you can plant them 1 year, and then you just restrict one plant to saving the seeds, and then that can seed your next year. So it's really wonderful. Next we have, let's see if these are our little sample packs, so I do have them open so I can show you. So you can see the beans themselves. A bit darker than the picture. They can darken a little bit with age. These have been open for a little while. Next we have the Jacob's Gold bean. Similar in all aspects to Jacob's Kettle except the color. These are a good choice for baked beans and also for chili. Heavy, reliable yields, very vigorous 24-inch plants, bush habit, 70 to 80 days. You can see also we have the scientific name, Fasciolis vulgaris. You can see they have just this beautiful white color with kind of a splash of brown. Then on to the bumblebee bean. Named for the large side of its seeds, this Maine heirloom has a high vitamin and mineral content. Stout 16-inch plants produce 5-inch pods with 3 to 5 large seeds each. Gorgeous seeds are white ovals with a dark maroon splash at the eye. Bush habit 85 to 98 days. See just that beautiful color. Just have a lovely look to them. They're wonderful bean. Now to the October bean. Native American variety dating back to the 1830s from the Cherokee Nation in Tennessee. This seed comes from Beulah Hun, a nearly full-blood Cherokee, from the mountains of eastern Tennessee. It is a prolific producer, great staple, 85 to 90 days. Still just a nice, beautiful color with that splash of pink. Then here is a sad but proud bean. This is the Cherokee Trail of Tears bean. Given to the Seed Savers Exchange in 1977 by the late Dr. John Wyke. His Cherokee ancestor carried this bean over the Trail of Tears, the infamous Winter Death March that left a trail of 4,000 graves from Kentucky to Oklahoma. But these seeds have survived. Shiny black seeds. They produce green 6-inch pods with purple stripes. Good for snaps and dry beans. And they do have a bowl habit. And so here you can see them. It's just a nice, simple black bean. But it just carries with it such a connection to history and some very sad things that occurred, but also represents the will of the Cherokee people to survive and continue their legacies. Now, this is more of a green bean. The Fin de Bagnol bean. This is an old European gourmet variety of French string bean. Its delicious, round, slender pods are excellent when steamed. Referred to as shoestring beans. Best when picked every 2 to 3 days when very young, before any strings begin to appear. Productive plants grow well in cool soils. Attractive when prepared as tiny gourmet green beans. Bush habit, 49 to 57 days. Here you can just see a simple mottled bean, lighter and darker brown together. Now we've got a little bit more variety here. In our second row, few different unique types of seeds. First here we have the Long Island Improved Brussels sprout. See, they grow to a beautiful Brassica. This was the chief commercial sprout until the development of more uniform hybrids. Heavy set over an extended period. Compact 24-inch plants yield 50 to 100 dark green, 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 inch sprouts. Introduced in the 1890s. And it's 80 to 115 days from transplant. So for these ones, you want to sow indoors in 1/4 inch deep in pots or flats 8 weeks before the last frost. Thin the seedlings when 2 inches tall and transplant into individual pots. Plant outdoors outdoors 24 inches apart in rows 36 inches apart when a light frost is still possible. Now the instructions for saving these seeds. These are a biennial. Brussels sprouts will cross-pollinate with all other Brassica oleracea, so isolate by 1 mile the second year when going to seed. Do not harvest head on plants you intend to save for seed. Carefully dig the plants and pot them in sand. Store the plants between 32 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Plant back out in early spring and allowed to bolt. Harvest seed pods when dry and clean by hand. These are a tiny little seed. There. It's kind of just a little roundish brown seed with so much potential inside. Next, still from our Brassica family, is our Chico broccoli. Introduced to U.S. gardeners in 1890. Compact 2 to 3 foot plant produces 4-inch central head. After the central head is cut, many side shoots will follow. Very early, great for freezing. 48 to 85 days from transplant. There you can see the seeds. They look quite similar to our Brussels sprout seeds because they are all the same species. They're just varieties that have had different parts selectively bred over many, many years. Now here's something you may have never heard of. This is Aunt Molly's ground cherry. You can see the cherry sits within a little papery skin. Ground cherries were recorded and grown as early as 1837 in Pennsylvania. This Polish variety is prized for its clean flavor. Fruits are 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch in diameter and are encased in a papery husk that turns brown as the fruit ripens. Stores 3 to 4 weeks in the husk. Extremely productive plants have a sprawling habit and grow 18 inches tall, 24 inches wide. Excellent citrus flavor can be used for preserves, pies, over ice cream, or in fresh fruit salads. 70 days from transplant. So for these, you plant indoors, 1/4 inch deep, in pots or flats, 6 weeks before the last frost. You plant outdoors when the danger of frost is past. Plants should be planted 12 to 18 inches apart in rows. So, your instructions for saving the seeds on these. Ground cherries will not cross. We have found the best way to save seeds is to remove the husks and smash the fruits with a fork and then rinse in a strainer. Spread seeds out on a glass dish to dry. And if you like fruit that's maybe a little less sweet than what you're traditionally used to, these can be very good. They have a little bit lower fructose level. One of my favorite seeds is the black from Tula tomato. You can see that beautiful, rich color of the tomato. It's gorgeous. This is a Russian heirloom described by Seed Saver Exchange members as the ugliest, most delicious tomato I've ever grown. Rich, full of flavor, great for slicing, good yields of 3 to 4 inch, slightly flattened fruit on 3 to 4 foot plants. Good drought tolerance. Indeterminate 80 to 85 days from transplant. And so these are another one that you'll sow indoors. The seed-saving instructions for these. Cross-pollination between modern tomato varieties seldom occurs, except in potato leaf varieties, which should be separated by the length of the garden. Do not save seeds from double fruits or from the first fruits of large fruited varieties. Pick at least one ripe fruit from each of several plants. Squeeze seeds and juice into a strainer and wash. Spread on a paper plate and dry. Then the dragon carrots. You can see the beautiful coloring in this unique carrot variety. The finest, most refined purple carrot available. Beautiful reddish purple exterior provides an amazing contrast with a yellowish orange interior. Great for home and market gardens alike. Sweet, almost spicy flavor. 90 days. These you sow directly outdoors in the earliest spring, 3 to 4 weeks before the last frost, or as soon as the soil can be worked. Sow seeds a 1/4 inch deep, making sure to firmly press soil against the seeds for good soil contact. Keep moist for optimal germination. Thin carrots 1 to 4 inches, depending upon the size of mature carrots. Now here's instructions for saving these seeds. These are biennial. Carrots will cross-pollinate, so isolate a 1/4 mile from other carrots and Queen Anne's lace. The second year when going to seed, dig up carrots in the fall before a hard frost. Trim the tops to 1 inch. Store the roots in slightly damp sawdust, sand, or leaves in a root cellar over the winter. Replant in the spring and harvest seed heads when dry. Those are really beautiful variety. Now the final variety that I have from the Seed Savers Exchange is the sunberry. And this picture can be a bit deceptive. They're really quite small. They're about pea-sized. Bred in the early 1900s by Luther Burbank, who called it sunberry. The result of many years of crossing Solanum guineas, a species native to Africa, and Solanum villosum, indigenous to Europe. Sunberry's fruits are blue, slightly sweet, and slightly larger than a pea. Said by its admirers to rival and even surpass blueberries, a truly historic variety. So, they're a nice little variety. Now there are 2 others that I've pulled out to show to you. first is these Alpine strawberries, mignonettes. These are some of the most delicious strawberries that you can eat. So I always recommend that someone should grow these in their garden. Absolutely delicious. A French delicacy. Our improved cultivar of Heirloom produces dainty little pointed red berries with an ambrosial woodland flavor. Mignonette forms compact perennial plants that grow in pretty leafy mounds and produce fruits the first summer from seed to enjoy all season long. These special petite strawberries are lovely as a border edging or in containers, or plant them in hanging pots so you can pluck their exquisite little fruits as you stroll past. These are very, very special seeds. Amazing. And then one of the best pea varieties is these green feast peas. They are just such an amazing flavor of pea. It's come from Banksia Creek. And you just sow them directly into your garden or pots, spaced about 7 to 10 centimeters apart. And you will be delighted with the flavor. So, are you interested in any of these seeds? I know. Oh, yes, definitely. And the ground cherry. I know it's very, very sad, but it's, yeah, something to really be proud of that heritage that they were able to preserve. Okay, you want those 3? Well, let me just go to the back and I'll obviously get you brand new packages, okay?